3 feet precedes me most mornings, leaves me scat, ghosts my track, seldom seen more than hind end, on purpose, I suppose.
The coyote is a common figure in fables, folklore, and mythology, written and sung about, surrounded by myths, adding to its public image. In every town in Massachusetts, coexisting is a fact, and unbeknownst to the intelligent and curious coyote, it is causing strong emotions and dividing opinions. Now, at the height of the mating season, they are more active, visible, and audible.
People will report hearing the howling of the coyotes. So I'm not sure if you've had an opportunity to hear coyotes howling, yipping, especially maybe in the evening time. They sort of overlap those howls and yips. And there's a common myth that they do that to announce a kill, and that's not true. They are mostly just howling and yipping to communicate either with other members of their family group to say, hey, like if we're all spread out across our territory, maybe it's time to come together. Or they might be howling or yipping at an intruding coyote that's coming into their territory. They might howl and yip at that coyote to say, hey, get out of here. This is my space. You'll also hear them over the summer as the adults are teaching the pups how to communicate.
Mass Wildlife estimates that the population on Cape Cod may be as high as 900 coyotes. But how well do we actually know them? We spoke to Megan Crawford from Mass Wildlife and Stephanie Ellis from the animal clinic Wild Care in Eastham for some Coyote 101 and to untangle one myth at a time.
So some of the most common myths about coyotes is that they are an aggressive species and that they will attack you and your dog. And that is simply untrue. They are shy and elusive. They are curious, of course, so it's not uncommon for a coyote to walk away from you and then keep looking back. They cannot discern between wildlife prey and your dog or cat, which is why it's up to us to be responsible pet owners and keep our cats indoors and make sure our dogs are leashed or contained or with us at all times.
People want to call the eastern coyote the coy wolf. That's just not a really great way to describe the coyotes that are here in Massachusetts. It does have a small amount of wolf DNA, less than 25%, and it also has a small amount of domestic dog DNA, less than 11%. And so they are bigger than their Western counterparts. They're a little bit heavier. They get up to about 45 pounds. They have longer legs. They have thicker fur. They just have traits that make them appear larger. Attack of a coyote on a person, on an adult, on a child is exceptionally rare. Never intentionally feeding wildlife, never intentionally feeding coyotes is what's going to ensure that those coyotes don't attempt to get close to people.
That he rarely ranges far or wide leads me think someone may be feeding him.
Yeah, where there are people, there's food. Where there is food, there are coyotes.
There are several ways you can make your yard coyote smart. Your bird feeding stations, they're opportunistic omnivores, so they will also eat bird seed, fruit that's fallen from fruit trees, no outdoor pet feeding stations, and also refuse. Make sure they can't get into trash cans.
We really, really encourage people to never intentionally feed wildlife. It opens the door for coyotes to become less wary of people, to look to people in our homes and property for food, and it can lead to bold or aggressive behaviors developing.
The way 3 feet peas indicates he's a she. She moves well in spite the bum leg she wanders on.
Seeing injured animals can be heartbreaking. But not only is feeding coyotes illegal, so is giving them medication. Mange is a skin disease caused by mite that otherwise healthy coyotes could fight off in the wild. But as Stephanie Ellis explains, human impact makes it more complicated.
You shouldn't give them medication in the wild for so many reasons. You can provide a lethal dose. There are some dog breeds that it is absolutely lethal for. And so when you're baiting food or even just putting out food, you're attracting an abnormal number of animals to one place. And so now you're actually increasing the risk of spreading the disease. Often there are other concurrent issues. So they might have intestinal parasites, they could have lead exposure, they often have infection from the scratching. There's actually been studies linked to animals having a higher risk to contract mange when they have rodenticide exposure because their immune systems have been compromised. So they now don't have the ability to fight off that mange cycle. In order to change coyotes' behavior, we all need to work together and do something called hazing. If you're out walking and you see a coyote, even if it's just walking away, you might want to get in the practice of making yourself big, making yourself loud, pull your jacket over your head, clap your hands, just to ensure that this animal always maintains its healthy fear of humans. And they are really important predator control for us on the Cape. They're eating, a lot of small creatures that we often consider backyard pests. And so we need them for this delicate balance of our ecosystem. They're super important.
What's the average age of a Cape Cod Coyote, I wonder? How many more walks together of a morning will we have?